Hey, all right, everybody, how's it going? Now, I got a comment by Hugh from a person who has made a few, let's say around about 6 or 7 or 8, maybe more comments on my channel, and he's very negative about EVs. Now, this comment here is sort of relevant of the news in the past week, so we'll just have a look at the comment first, and then we'll address some of the things that he said, okay? So, it's from the Volvo Drive 2811. Now, first of all, I thought it was not Jeff in disguise, because he likes his Volvos, his old Volvos, but when I read this comment by Hugh, it sort of points towards his spelling is more American, even though he says he's not American. Anyway, let's just read the comment and then we'll see if we can dig into what he's saying and if it'll actually make any difference at all globally. Because, you know, I like to talk about things globally. So, here we go. Hey, Groucho, have you heard the news? The US Senate on Thursday voted to bar California's landmark plan to the sale of gasoline-only vehicles by 2035. The measure will bar California and 11 other states from requiring rising numbers of EVs. A separate bill passed by the US House of Representatives on Thursday would end a $7,500 tax credit for new EVs, impose a new $250 annual fee on EVs for road repair costs, and repeal vehicle emissions rules designed to prod automakers into building more EVs. It would also phase out EV battery production tax credits in 2028. It's the beginning of the end for the silly EV experiment. The first domino has dropped. When the US sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. By the way, I'm not American, I'm not a petrol head, and I'm not a Luddite. I simply have common sense and don't view the world through rose-coloured, the way it's spelt, American way, glasses. Never bet against the US or Toyota. Well, first of all, I will definitely bet against the US and Toyota, both laggards in vehicles, cars. Now, this person here, he says he's not American, but he's made many comments which sounds like he's living in America or lived in there for a long time. I'm not quite sure. Now, he says he's not a petrol head, but he's got the Volvo Drive 2811. Is he a petrol head? I don't know. So let's go through it all then. Let's just sort of try and break it down in little bits first of all. So let's try and address where he says the first domino has dropped. Okay? When the US sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. This is not the case, especially with cars. The American car manufacturing whole thing, they've always been laggards. They're not, except for Tesla obviously, which is American, they've always been behind. I mean, years ago, American cars were terrible. They were absolutely awful. And they're not the biggest, what's the right word? They're not the biggest country for cars anymore. That goes to China, which is way more than America. So China's sales are more important than American sales. So when this person says when the US sneezes, no, definitely not. Not a chance. Not a chance at all. Like I said, and you can put it down in the comments below, but I've always viewed America as behind when it comes to vehicles. I've always thought they're behind, not in front, except for Tesla. Now, talking to Tesla, California, he says by Hugh, The best-selling car in California this year, believe it or not, even after Elon Musk's antics, is the Tesla Model Y. And in number 3, the third best-selling car in California, is the Tesla Model Y. I think I'm going to have to say that again, because I'm sure I got it wrong. The best-selling car in California this year is the Tesla Model Y, and in third place is the Tesla Model 3, even after Elon Musk's antics. In second place is a Toyota, is it a RAV4? I've got it down written somewhere. I'll put it up on the screen if I got it somewhere. So let's address the Toyota thing as well. Toyota have always been pushing hydrogen fuel cells, and they've actually abandoned that now. They've abandoned it because he's saying never bet against Toyota. So people were betting, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right, people were betting that Toyota was going to be at the forefront of hydrogen cars. But they've sort of abandoned hydrogen cars, and they're now going to concentrate on bigger vehicles like lorries, trucks, whatever you call them in your country, semis. So they've sort of gone back on what they said about hydrogen cars, and they're going to concentrate now more on hydrogen trucks. So, would I bet against Toyota? Absolutely. Toyota have been saying they're going to bring out a solid state battery for the last 10 years or so. Because all they're trying to do is hold back all the time, hold back. And it's all to do with trying to make profits. It's nothing to do with being at the forefront of, car engineering. It's all about just squeezing out as much money from the people who buy the cars as possible. And why would you stand up for a company who's trying to squeeze out every last penny from you? It's bonkers. Now, another thing is here, this person here, Volvo Drive 2811, is celebrating. He's celebrating that he wants more combustion vehicles. Now, California has had terrible trouble with air pollution, and all these things California are doing is just trying to make the air cleaner for people to breathe. And for a person to celebrate having dirtier air means, well, let's put it this way. He's made a few other comments, right, where he's blown his own trumpet. This person here, Volvo Drive, has blown his own trumpet by saying he's got common sense, he's tried to inflate his intelligence, a bit like Donald Trump. And I'm always suspicious of people who always try and inflate their own worth, because really it's up to other people to sort of give a description of what you like. If you're describing yourself as a very intelligent person, you've got loads of common sense, blah blah blah, then usually 9 out of 10 times you're a bit daft, okay? Because the real people who are intelligent don't usually blow their own trumpet. Blowing your own trumpet is a red flag. So I'm just telling you, Volvo Drive 2811, blowing your own trumpet and thinking you're cleverer than most people or you've got more common sense than most people, it usually is a big, massive red flag, which means you're a bit of a Burke. Now, I'm not saying you're a bit of a Burke, I'm just saying that usually 9 out of 10 times that is what it is, okay? If you are intelligent, you don't have to tell people you're intelligent. Intelligent people don't go around saying they're intelligent. It's usually daft people who do. So, anyway, I'm waffling again. It was another article here. They're all linked, this article, and this is a bit of a waffle by here. But I got another thing by here. It says the collapse in US vehicle imports to China reinforces this trend. By Q1 2025, only 8,870 American cars were imported into China. That was a 66% drop year over year. So, sorry, Mr. Matey Volvo geezer, right? That is the opposite of America and then sneezing and everybody following. I got a few more things here to go through. Where is it here? Now, after that announcement, the blue state governors form a clean car coalition after Congress blocks California's strict emissions. Now, I know California is going to do a legal case against it. That's already started, but it does say by here 11 states for affordable clean cars coalition comes after Congress repealed California's authority to set stricter vehicle emission standards. Governors from 11 Democrat-led states said on May the 23rd they are launching an affordable clean cars coalition to promote non-fossil fuel powered vehicles after Congress voted to block California from setting stricter car emission standards than federal rules. Now, another thing I wanted to touch on as well is that I believe California is got the biggest car market out of all the states in America. And another point I want to touch on is that I did say that the Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in California. And in California, you're going to have a lot of Tesla people who are brand loyal and will probably buy another Tesla again, even if the tax credit is taken away. Because usually when tax credits are taken away, the car manufacturers, Tesla for instance, might lower the price a little bit of the vehicles. That tends to happen. I mean, this is Trump's second term, and he tried to water down the EPA emissions rules in the first term, and that didn't get rid of electric cars, did it? So there's a lot to go through there. There's a lot to touch on, but if I was to sum it up, if I was to put it all in one bag and sum up the guy's comment, I would say you're talking a load of ghoulies. So I don't think America has that much influence on the rest of the world. In fact, at the moment, with Trump in power, I think America is a bit of a laughing stock. Most people don't want to go and visit America. So, like I said, China doesn't want their cars anymore. So, all in all, I just think it was a bit of a silly comment. But there we go. Probably he's more emotional about it than logical. But there we go. That's just my thoughts. Put your thoughts down in the comments down below. Try and be as polite as possible, even though I've said a few things which probably isn't polite. But at the end of the day, he keeps putting comments down and saying like his thoughts are. I'll try and put a few comments on the screen now, and sort of highlight a few things he said, which is sort of, in my eyes, is a person trying to blow his own trumpet, trying to inflate his intelligence. It just doesn't work, though. It doesn't work. Just say what you got to say without trying to, boost your ego yourself. Anyway, if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ahoy!